Welcome to The Interest. I'm Katie Jensen. Nowadays, most home buyers can be described as tech savvy, but what about your lending business? If you're looking to up your game, then stay tuned for Tech Talk with Shane Kidwell. After that, we'll see what lucrative advice Steve Richmond has to share on his segment, The Road to Riches. But first, we'll start by addressing a serious issue impacting borrowers across the nation, but especially in California, Texas, and Florida, the home insurance crisis. It may initially seem odd that home insurers in California are finding it hard to cope with the state's natural disasters. After all, wildfires, storms, and earthquakes are nothing new to the area. So why are the nation's biggest home insurers fleeing the state? I recently sat down with some of California's biggest lenders and brokers to discuss what they've seen and how it's impacted business. Stay tuned.
So many carriers have pulled out of the market because of the wildfire risk in California. And then you throw on top of that all the storms that we've been having.
The increasing frequency of storms and risk of wildfire could lead many to think, why don't home insurers just increase their rates? Why must they withdraw from the state? Jeffrey Wingate, Executive Vice President and Head of Insurance at Guaranteed Rate, explained that carriers have been trying to increase rates as fast as possible. But in certain states like California, those rate hikes must be approved by the state, and that is known to be a slow process.
And as a result, they're pulling back from the marketplace. And that's causing, limited carriers, limited supply, high demand, and it's causing, carriers that are not admitted, meaning that they are not regulated by the state, to come in to at least offer insurance, but at a higher price.
Recent reports state that California's insurance market has shrunk by 35% thus far in 2024, after 7 of the top 12 carriers exited or stopped writing new policies in the past year. Some of those include industry giants like Allstate, State Farm, Farmers, USAA, and more. Alec Hansen, Chief Marketing Officer at Loan Depot, explains the impact on borrowers.
Debt to income ratio is one of the main tools for, gauging somebody's ability to qualify for a loan, can get stressed because all of a sudden insurance premiums come back higher and now they're kicked out maybe of a loan program they wanted, or they have to figure out another way to qualify.
Unfortunately, that means further headwinds for mortgage originators. However, some like Brian Cook and Tyler Flora at San Francisco-based Sunny Hill Financial are preparing their borrowers and helping them find coverage.
We worked to solve that, Katie, by bringing in insurance partners who we pre-negotiated rates with for our clients. But even still, we still run into pockets in California, Texas, Florida, and a couple other states where it's just unaffordable.
For more on how originators are helping abandoned borrowers in California, read the full story at nationalmortgageprofessional.com. For The Interest, I'm Katie Jensen.
We all dream of owning a home, but for too long, if you didn't fit the mold, you were stuck. Stuck because the system worked for everyone except you. We've changed that. Angel AI uses advanced AI technology to give a 100% trusted solution and fast answers for worry-free financing, allowing you to achieve fair and equal access to lending. Angel AI. AI you can bank on.
Hey guys, Shane Kidwell, and today on our Tech Spotlight, we're going to kind of go old school in a new school way with a good friend of mine, talking about a technology that I'd never even heard of and probably need more than I know. Sean Richard, my good friend, tell me about this thing that you've been using, that you've been holding out on and didn't even tell me about until today.
Hey, Shane, thanks for having me, man. So to be fair, I learned this from a fellow friend of ours in the industry. But what we're talking about today is the website or a subject line tester. There's a number of them out there, but subject line tester specifically for emails. I use this probably every single day. Anytime I'm sending out mass emails to past clients, to prospective clients, to leads, to real estate agents, as I'm building that email, before I send out anything, I'm going over to subject line tester and I'm plugging in the subject line that I want to use, and it scores that subject line for engagement and open rate. It tells you like 8 to 10 different aspects of your subject line. If you're using words that are going to get your email stuck in the promo tab on emails or in the spam tab, it's going to let you know that. It's going to tell you what reading level that your subject line is at, and it's going to recommend changing, to a lower reading level. It's going to show you the preview of how much of your subject line is going to be seen both on a PC as well as mobile. So it breaks down all of the data that goes into the potential open rate. And just as some backup on this, so since I started using subject line tester, my blast email open rates to real estate agents averages between 50 and 65% on every email that I send out, which sales marketing emails, if you go look at the data, a really good sales marketing email average open rate's about 20-25%.
That's insane. And I think that what a lot of people forgot about as the market was picking up steam over the last cycle was getting back to some of the basics. And email marketing, mass communication is not bad. It's got a different level of effectiveness than the one-to-one, but it's significantly more impactful because of how many people you can communicate with at once. And on prior, episodes of this show about technology, we've talked about CRM, we've talked about mass communication and how important it is. But it's only as good as, again, the subject that you're speaking on. And if you're speaking about something, or you have a good subject, but the subject line isn't good, nobody's going to know about the pot of gold at the end of the email. And so it's super important to be able to have something that helps you. And this is where AI and technology today can make what was otherwise a very basic tool, and quite frankly, fairly ineffective, much more effective.
And Shane, do I have a second to share a quick testimonial?
Quick.
All right,
Yes.
Super fast. So one of my blast emails, because I really honed in on that subject line, resulted in an agent who I do no business with, reached out and says, I love your thoroughness. I love how you approach everything. He responded to my email and he said, hey, I'd like to schedule a call so that way I can talk about how we can do business together.
It's awesome, man. And
So,
that's the goal
phenomenal.
of everything we ever do, is building relationships. Sean, thank you, my man. As always, appreciate your time. Guys, we'll see you on the next episode.
We've all heard the phrase, work smarter, not harder. But here's the problem. That only works for smart people. And it's hard work to become smart. So if you're thinking, I got to work smarter, not harder, you got to work hard at being smart first.
For more on these and all of today's top stories, go to nationalmortgageprofessional.com.